Good afternoon. How are you all doing? Um, just running through and doing a quick response video, I guess. Um, Yesterday's video was really more of a warning, that we need to be more mindful about what our loved ones are watching, viewing, and being involved in within a digital space that may lead to actual federal crimes being committed due to the fact we have active uh, cyber attacks that are happening that do impact things that can lead to the loss of lives for a lot of people, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. So that was really my focal point, and really just feeling that pressing and urging to provide that warning. But anyway, I also wanted to kind of touch on some things about what has us kind of divided right now, men versus women, and all of this stuff. Um, eh, it's hard for anyone to ignore um, when a culture has been hijacked, right? When you have your own people saying things that people who hate them, don't like them, are saying about them, and then they're saying it to one another. That's very concerning for me. That's just me. But more than anything, for me, it is Lent season, the spiritual significance of what's going on right now. I just felt the sense of urgency to speak with anyone and everyone about you need to be very aware of what your loved ones are watching, agreeing with, getting involved with, joining. Because the reality is that if we look at it from a high level, right? If we look at it from a high level, that you have a demographic or culture of people in the country who openly always say they hate it here, they don't like it, they hate the government, they would be the demographic that are most likely to be targeted for certain federal crimes on this soil. And so, how would they have access to them in modern era? It would be done in a digital domain. All right. So that could be Discord, Periscope, not Periscope, excuse me, my word, uh, Patreon, etc. It would be done on a digital platform. However, the acts they could carry out could lead to the loss of life for a lot of people, right? Who may even look like them, because once they're indoctrinated, they don't see race anymore. They are just full of hatred, right? So when you have a culture of people who some people are thinking are synonymous with, they don't want to be here, they hate it here, they're ready to leave, they hate the government, they're more susceptible to being targeted. And that's why I wanted to have that conversation, that you need to start paying attention, you need to start actively listening, because it's not about to happen. This is happening right now. It is bad when uh this person who did this, I've been knowing them my entire life, and they're highly intelligent, capable, wise, and it was scary that they believe that crap. Yeah, they believe it, right? So there's a lot going on with people's perception of reality of being, a little tinkered with a bit, excuse me. Um, Thank you so much, Ruby and Velma, for commenting. I appreciate you. I did delete one comment, and there's a reason for that. So I'll go ahead and answer that now while it's fresh at the top of my head. Uh, Everything I do, those who actually speak with me offline, they will tell you everything that I do. I do not have a preconceived notion when I'm gonna do it. I just follow. I follow a lot. And so my decision yesterday had nothing to do with anyone else or something else. And so even though well-meaning in the comment, it's important for them to understand how much this occasion, this Lenten season, mean for me and my faith as a believer. And so I can't think of any single individual that would be that important to me, right? I'm not trying to slight you or anything. I don't want you to feel that way. But understand, my following is priority. This time is it's priority. And that's it, hard stop. Obedience, that's my priority. And the things I'm talking about, it's the reality. People are so enamored with social media, they put very little effort into what's going on with their spiritual life and spiritual maturation, right? They're distracted. I mentioned that yesterday. They're distracted. And if you're distracted, you're ineffective. You cannot, you won't be one of the people somebody looking for to pray for somebody. You're just not. Um, so I know you didn't mean any harm. I believe that in my heart of hearts, but at the same time, it's kind of like, why would you think that someone like that are important enough for me to disobey God for? They're not. Number two, on my worst day, I have learned from experience within this platform. The only way to really get something done and move the way I like to move, you can't know anything about it. None of you. That's the only way it's going to work and be effective. And I mean, for the longest, I've been doing it. But again, that goes back to you not knowing what I'm doing, because it is what it is. That's not to be, funny or anything like that. It is what it is. Some people talk entirely too much because this is a show for them. This is something they watch with popcorn. It's entertainment for them, and I don't knock them for that. For me, a lot of things have to do with principle. A lot of things have to do with the actual church, the body of church, Christ, and what all of this has to do with it as far as what this person did and how he tracks back to others who are within this space doing the exact same thing. And it's all over the country like wildfire, right? And really our first time seeing it up close and personal, which within this era, it was him, right? So I think I've made it very clear my motivations are very different than a lot of you. And that's not to be judgy or condemning or anything. It is what it is, right? So um yeah, I believe in my soul you didn't mean any harm. You were just curious, but no, this is not that. Let me say it again. This is not that. It isn't. Now, uh, let me move on. So I'm gonna pose a question to you or make a statement. You can always tell a very good leader because a leader has a vision for things that are not there, and they have the courage and the faith to be able to execute those things. The sign of a piss poor leader, Lord, excuse me for cursing and vulgarity. The sign of a weaker leader is when they try to redo things from the past, right? When they try to redo what's already been done, right? So when Dr. King was in Memphis, and unfortunately he lost his life, what was the reason he was in Memphis? There was a specific reason, an event going on why he was there. There was a specific demographic of blue collar workers he was there to support, right? I want you to sit down and look it up and then explain to me why would someone be trying to recreate that in a sense in 2024. Let me say this about the illustrious, gorgeous Bishop Daniel's sister. I've made this statement several times. Listen, Black women we've kept the Black church open. Okay, we've made sure the lights were on, the water was on, the building was paid for, carpet was in there, painting was done, pews paid for, salaries paid for. We have done it. We have done it, and it is just to the point now that if you're still trying to go with gender doctrine, then you have to accept as a gender you failed. That means on your watch, with men only being allowed to speak and your church pews getting mighty light, you failed. That's what it means. That's not to be mean or anything. That's to be honest. right? And be fair, right? Fair, right? We're not in a time right now. If he said out, a rock could cry out. If he'll use a rock, he'll definitely use a woman. If he'll use an ass, he'll definitely use a woman. And you have to stop oppressing people who have kept these churches going, because as long as you do it, you are evoking a curse. And you all don't seem to notice that. Every single denomination that pull that crap, every single last one of them die. Their denomination die. Every single last one of them. It's proven. It's proven. Look around you. They do not. It dies. People talking about a rebellious spirit. Well, I mean, what do you call an ignorant spirit when you're a man touting a scripture? You don't even understand what it says. What does that say? You know, um, if women are going to be treated the same way, with this Archie Bunker type perception, then the men in the church don't think no different than men in the world. So why would anyone financially invest in that and invest their time and bring their children to be exposed to that? See, that's dysfunctional. That's wrong. And like I said, every denomination who has tried that crap, their denominations end up drying up and dying. And then what's left is the men start, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. But this is so much bigger during Lent right now, what we have going on. And we're hard as that. We're hard as that, just crying out and begging and pleading, please, 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 please forgive us enough in this country to please release a new word. Please, please. And people want to be caught up on chromosomes and gender. And meanwhile, other people are willing to roll around with sackcloth ashes if they have to please release a new word. Please, please give us a rhema word. Please, you see. But everybody hung up on genderism and all this foolishness. And when has it ever saved one soul? When has it ever led one soul to Christ? When has it ever got anyone into heaven? Ever. Ever. It doesn't. And that's the business God is in. The Christ is in. He in the business of souls, not gender. And your soul, because of your gender, is not better than a woman. You see. And if you look around American society, I don't mean any harm, gentlemen, you have failed horribly. So stop. That's all I'm stop. Stop, because the mark and opportunity and responsibilities you had in all these eras before you didn't do it. You hid in the churches and exploited women. They were easy prey, easy targets. You didn't get out there and deal with that crack area. You didn't get out there and deal with that heroin area. You stayed your behind right there in the church house. That's what you did. And now you want to come back in here trying to stomp around and tell somebody what to do. Keep playing. And you'll be shuttering the doors, and that church will end up being a museum, and that's the end of it. Keep playing. You're going to look up that all you're going to have are a bunch of relics, because that's not going to be because of man. It is because God is tired of playing with y'all, and you don't seem for the life of you to be paying attention. And when people have a tendency to not pay attention, I tell you, boy, I can tell you from experience, he has a very uncanny way of getting your attention and making it clear to everyone that it was him. Yeah. Keep trying them if you want to. Run around here talking about, women need to be quiet. A woman preaching over a man. Well, somebody need to do something. Somebody. We got to do something. I mean, if we got to go out there getting goats, if we got to go out there getting cows, giraffes, somebody talk to you, because you missed it. Y'all been too busy wearing them tight behind britches. I mean, you were too focused on clothes. You were too focused on the women. You were too focused on money. You were not focused on the souls. You trying to keep business going as usual. And I'm telling you, I'm over here begging and pleading with others. We rolling around in ashes and sackcloth, begging for a rain of word, begging for a new, fresh outpouring of his spirit to be able to endure what we're living in right now. You see, because we're not distracted. No, we're well aware that this country is in a conflict. We're well aware that when it get hot and it get real, these souls, these people are going to be looking for people who know how to pray. That's what they're going to come looking for. Okay? You have people been playing with a whole lot of other stuff that ain't Christian, right? It ain't godly. They've been playing and tampering and tinkering with things, you see. And they'll snatch stuff into this atmosphere. Meanwhile, men walking around talking about, I don't want no woman saying nothing over me. Well, I mean, you ain't say nothing about these people snatching stuff into the atmosphere and creating chaos and around here, suppressing prayers. Did you even did you pay attention to that? Have you even noticed it? Or are you too busy talking about you a man? Did you even notice that? There is a prevalent spirit in this country right now, from coast to coast, stifling people being able to effectively pray. Yeah, I mean, reports are coming in from everywhere. And we're having these discussions. It's to the point now, it is like trying to bench press 500 pounds to be able to pray effectively and fervently like we did just 18 months ago. But y'all not paying attention. Let me go. Yeah, because the genderism and all that ain't saved no souls. So right now, people are so distracted, worried about social stuff that I just told you yesterday. You have people literally hijacking our medical systems and shutting them down, going in and have access to all of your information. For all you know, they can put in there that you diagnosed with something. You at the doctor and you end up just getting shot with something that you don't wake up no more. Because in your chart, it said one thing, but in reality, it's something else. I personally, I don't have time, to be that blind, right? This is real right now. This is really happening. Really, you have banks being hijacked. You have phones being hijacked, right? Yeah, they're letting it be very clear and known they can get a hold to anything into anything and everything. We're not as safe as we thought, right? And in the spiritual reality of it, what are these people gonna do when all this stuff is cut off? Huh? They can't eat, they can't watch TV, they can't get into their phones, huh? They can't get to the doctor, they can't get medicine, they can't call nobody, they can't find their loved ones, they don't know anybody's phone numbers, they haven't written anyone's phone numbers down. You see, what are they gonna do? Huh? When their kids are hungry. And yeah, you don't think it can happen. Keep sitting there thinking, keep sitting there, honey. But yeah, like I said, what I'm getting to is I'm focused right now. I want to respond to you ladies and say thank you so much for your comment, honey. And I don't know about nobody else, but we have been storming, we have been praying, we have been pressing, we have been begging, we have been pleading, we have been pushing. We have been pushing and pushing, and I mean just all over the country. Those of us who came together to really engage the throne during Lent because it's that serious. It's that serious. So um I'm about to go ahead and run. I can't wait to read your comments, but yeah, honey, I know you meant well with that little comment, honey, but sure, I can tell you now, on everything I know, love, and appreciate in this life, honey, I don't know what you're talking about, baby. I didn't have no idea, honey. If anybody who actually talked to me on this platform, they will tell you I don't plan nothing. I follow. And that's just 100% coincidence, dear. Okay? What y'all talking about and what y'all got going on is one thing. What I'm focused on and what I'm doing is something totally different. Okay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I love you guys. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day, honey. Bye.